So look what happens now. Let's go over to chapter 10, where we have verse 4. Then the glory of the Lord went up from the cherubs. So the cherub, so again, we're thinking here, Holy of Holies, where the cherubim are on the Ark of the Covenant, in the Holy of Holies, which is the place that is made most holy by the presence of God. So the glory of the Lord is rising up. It's leaving the Holy of Holies. And it stood over the threshold of the house, and the house was filled with the cloud, and the court was full of the brightness of God's glory. Now over to verses 18 and 19. Then the glory of the Lord departed from off the threshold of the house and stood over the cherubim. And the cherubim lifted up their wings and mounted up from the earth in my sight. And when they went out, the wheels also were beside them. And everyone stood at the door of the east gate of the Lord's temple. And the glory of God of Israel was over them. So it's rising up as it leaves the temple. Verse 16 of chapter 11. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord God, although I have cast them afar off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among all of the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. And then lastly, verses 22 through 25, or 22 and 23 will do. Then did the cherubim lift up their wings, and the wheels beside them, and the glory of God of Israel was over them above. And the glory of the Lord went up from the midst of the city and stood upon the mountain, which is on the east side of the city. So the Shekinah, the glory of God, is leaving the Holy of Holies. It's up there, and then it's moving towards the east. With the symbol here that, as we've talked about, that God has not abandoned his people. There are consequences when people break their covenants, but God will not abandon them even then. And he will move with them to Babylon to help his people and to protect his people and to try and maintain that covenantal relationship with them. I think that that's a really, really beautiful concept, that if we miss these chapters in Ezekiel, we miss something fundamental about what this book is trying to teach us.